Here I am, back on the moorlands of the Peak District, heading up a very popular hill called Back Tor. And if you're wondering what this has got to do with the title of the video, then keep watching to find out. Leave no trace. It's basically a set of principles that have been adopted by the outdoor industry. And that's everybody from wild campers, mountain leaders, Duke of Edinburgh scouts, anybody involved in the outdoor industry. And it's basically to protect the environment. Principle 1, plan ahead and prepare. Do a little bit of research on the area that you're going camping in. Is wild camping allowed? What are the local resources like? So you might have to take a stove instead of chopping trees down to build a fire. And is it permitted? What are the local guidelines? And principle 2, camp on a durable surface. That means you want to be camping on rock or sand or dry grass. You do not want to be camping on delicate ecosystems and mossy areas and delicate vegetation. And also want to be camping at least 200 feet, that's 60 metres away from any water source. And that's to avoid any contamination of the water. Principle 3, dispose of your waste correctly. If you're going to bring it in, take it out. We do not leave any litter. If you're going to wash up, wash your dishes at least 200 metres away from the water source. Use biodegradable soap if you're going to wash your dishes. If you need to go to the toilet for number 2, dig a hole 6 to 8 inches deep and fill it in afterwards. Principle 4, leave what you find. So don't pick any flowers or vegetation. Don't move any rocks to put them on top of your pegs or on your campsite. Don't move rocks. There could be delicate ecosystems underneath the rock. There's a habit of a lot of people picking stones up and putting them on cairns. Stop it, you don't need to. Principle 5, minimise campfire impact. So take a stove instead of having to light a fire to cook your food. If you're in an area where fires are permitted, a registered campsite, something like that, use deadwood, don't be chopping down live trees. Most of the Peak District is covered by a public space protection order. That means you're not allowed any open fires or barbecues. If you're going to smoke, put your cigarettes out properly. A couple of years ago there was a massive fire in Marsden Moor, and the amount of curlew nests that we found with eggs basically cooked, it was shocking. Principle 6, respect wildlife. If you are going to watch birds, etc., do it from a distance, don't disturb them. Don't feed them. If you're out wild camping, make sure your food is secured properly. And be mindful about the time of year you're doing your activities. For example, I will not run my silver navigation course in spring when it's the ground bird nesting season to avoid any impact. And finally, principle 7, be considerate of others. Keep noise to a minimum. I've just walked up to where I am now, behind 3 young ladies, shouting and screaming at each other. I just can't get my head around it, and it echoes across the valley. No need for it. If you're out camping, camp out of sight away from others. Enjoy your privacy. And the most important thing is leave the site as you found it. Or even better, pick up rubbish that others have left, even if it's not yours. And by adopting these principles, we are basically looking after the environment and protecting it for future generations and for the wildlife. It also makes life a little bit easy for us. Local communities aren't anti-wild campers if we all stick to the rules. And the real reason I'm up here is because of this picture that was posted on one of the wild camping Facebook groups in the last few days. Yeah, and it got my blood boiling. And I was reading through the 200 plus comments, and I got even more frustrated. Whilst I can understand everybody getting annoyed and frustrated, but there was a clear outrage directed at a faceless younger generation. And I need to be careful what I say now and be careful how I articulate this. But I wanted to be part of the solution. I do not want to be one of these keyboard warriors that just sits and rants and does nothing. So I'm up here today to collect that rubbish from that post. And whilst it's easy to sit at a keyboard in the warmth of your house and rant and point the finger and blame everybody, what's needed is action. So I'm here today to go and collect this rubbish and dispose of it correctly. And I'm not looking for any sort of recognition or hero points or anything like that. I just want to do something positive. Action speaks louder than negative rants on Facebook posts. And whilst there was a lot of well-meaning comments from people, it'd be nice to see one or two saying, right, let's get together and organise a clean-up. Every year in October, there's a thing called the Real Three Peaks Challenge. And it's where all the outdoor instructors, mountain leaders, people that care, go out and they do a litter pick on UK's most popular mountains. It's nothing to do with the National Three Peaks or the Yorkshire Three Peaks. Yeah. And whilst I'm not perfect, I do care about outdoor spaces. So that's why I've decided to get out, take some positive action. Words are easy, action takes a little bit of effort. So you can just make out the white trig point of back toe and then furthest rocks. About another mile to go. Hello, little doggy. So I found a nice little place out of the wind, treated myself to a brew. It is a special place this, there's some graffiti on these rocks, rock carvings. 1867, I don't know if you can see that on the rocks, 1867. There's one there, 1865. And W&W were here in 1867. I have brought my camera and my long lens with me. There are supposed to be mountain hares up here. Oh, there were last time I came up. There still are, because I found some tracks in the snow. So I found the rubbish in question, and after I've had my brew, I've got some carrier bags and gloves, and I'm going to go and collect that rubbish. But this is one of Peak District's most iconic spots. Not only is it just trash in the wilderness, it's just a stark reminder of the growing difference between responsible wild camping and what I call fly camping. And there is a difference. And we need to start using that term more often. Fly camping. It's not wild camping, it's fly camping. Irresponsible people. So in general, a wild camper turns up late, gets the tent up just before it gets dark, spends the night, and they're off first thing in the morning. They don't leave any rubbish. And that's generally wild camping. That's how I would describe wild camping. And then we got this thing, the growing trend called fly camping. And they're the ones that they can't be bothered to walk far, side of the road, in woods, cutting down trees, and they just leave it in a right state. Ooh, there's a meadow pip over there. Let's see if I can get the camera on it. Too slow. It's a stone chat. So every time I'm out with a group, it might be a guided walk or a navigation course, every time we stop, I always check to make sure we've not left anything. On one of my navigation courses, I had one young lady that actually left a rucksack and actually carried it for a couple of miles before she actually realised she'd lost it or left it. So I always check when I'm with a group, and I do when I'm on my own as well. So a quick check of the area, make sure I've not left anything, leave no trace. The only thing I've left here is footprints. Right, let's go and find this rubbish. It's a big one. So it's been removed from the rocks into a bag, and I'm going to carry it back and dispose of it correctly. That bit there Was deep, wasn't as frozen as I thought it was. Up to the knees, quality. There's plenty of wild campers on YouTube, and the majority promote responsible wild camping. One of them is a good friend of mine, Andrew Beavers, and 2 or 3 months ago he came across, very similar to what I've collected today, a load of camping stuff discarded between some rocks on Kinder Scout. And the title of his video was, "Am I to blame?" Well, I've known Andy for a lot of years, watched all his videos, and in every one of his videos he always promotes a leave no trace policy. So no, Andrew, I don't think you are to blame at all. Andrew's video highlighted a key point. If we're going to enjoy these spaces, we have to take responsibility for them. His content inspires people to explore the outdoors, but he's always clear about doing it with respect. It's not about stopping people from wild camping, it's about doing it right. So I'm just going to 5 minutes shelter behind these rocks. I managed to adapt my camera strap. It's got a clip on it to carry the rubbish. Andy asks a really good question in his video, whether Kinder Scout has become too popular for its own good. And it's a good question and we should all reflect on it. Andrew does his best to promote leave no trace policies. He's promoting wild camping, he's not promoting fly camping. So I'd just like to commend Andrew on his honesty and humility in dealing with such a complex issue. It's not easy to hold yourself accountable and dealing with such a complex issue, and whether your content is contributing to littering on Kinder Scout. And the very fact that Andrew is prepared to have this conversation speaks volumes about his personality and his dedication to preserving these wild spaces. Every single video, that knows the score, leave no trace as always, see there? Andrew promotes responsible wild camping. He doesn't promote fly camping. In his video, it's worth a watch. I'll put a link in the comments somewhere. A lot of expletives, be warned. That just shows how passionate he is about looking after the outdoor spaces. So fingers crossed, I've not been on a rant. Just identifying an issue that we can all help contribute, promote, educate, influencers on YouTube, leaders taking groups out. We can all do our little bit. There is a website for Leave No Trace, and I'll put that link in the comments below as well. And anybody that's serious about helping and preserving the outdoors, October every year, the real Three Peaks Challenge. It's not a case of going up Ben Nevis, Snowdon and Scarfell Pike. It's just picking a local mountain near to where you live, organising a litter pick. In the Mountain Leader Handbook, it talks about educate and inspiring others, leading by example. And I'm pretty sure it'll say that in the Hill and Moorland Leader Candidate Handbook, in the Lowland Leader Syllabus, and any outdoor qualification. So hopefully that's what I've tried to do in this video, educate and inspire. It's not about pointing the finger or the blame game. It's about actions, being positive, setting an example. Whenever I'm out with a group, I don't have to say anything. If I see any rubbish, I just pick it up. put it in a bag, put it in my rucksack. They'll watch, they'll take note, and 9 times out of 10, next piece of rubbish we come across, one of them will pick it up. Last year on a Silver Duke of Edinburgh expedition, I did exactly that. Picked up a piece of paper, a bit of rubbish, whatever it was, put it in my rucksack. A couple of hours later, the group came across a load of rubbish around a bench at a beauty spot. Without any prompting, they picked up the rubbish, put it in the rucksacks and disposed of it at the next bin. One super proud instructor. So if you have followed this video to the end, the rubbish I've collected is a large tent in a 4-person plus potentially family sized tent. Luckily the outer, the poles and the pegs had gone, so they just decided that they couldn't fold this and left it there. As I've previously stated, I am not looking for any recognition for this. This is about setting an example, inspiring and educating others. See the van down there? Started at a place called Cutthroat Bridge Car Park. It is named so because somebody was found here years ago with a throat cut. From here, it's probably about 4 miles up to the top, 4 miles back, at 1200 feet of elevation. So an 8-mile round trip. Very pleasant, been a beautiful day, a few people out and about. Yeah, very enjoyable. And there's the van. For me, this is something more than just cleaning up back tour. This is about being a doer, getting out there, taking positive action, setting an example. Andy Beavers, you are not responsible for littering on Kinder Scout. You promote a responsible wild camping ethos. What we've experienced here is fly camping, completely different. And you need to commend me for it, mate. So keep up the good work. So if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If there's anything that I've missed or any other comments you'd like to add to my rant and education, etc., then put something in the comments below. And until next time, that's me signing off, and thanks for watching.